I'm Carmine Gallo, and today we're going to help you overcome the fear of the unknown and to build your confidence during times of uncertainty with the new book, The Upside of Uncertainty. And I am joined by its co-authors, INSEAD professor Nathan Furr and entrepreneur Susannah Furr. I believe you're joining me from France. Is that correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Great. It's nice to see you too. My wife and I, my wife, Vanessa, helps me write many of my books. She teaches with me, coaches with me. So it's nice to see another couple involved in the publishing world.
That's fun. That's so much. That's so great. I mean, you really can learn so much from each other. So it's fabulous.
That's great. And you're the professor, your wife's the entrepreneur. So it's nice to see both of you. The title, The Upside of Uncertainty, kind of caught my attention because I've studied the upside of those mental habits that maybe people feel are negative. Let's say like struggle. I've loved studying this idea that struggle can actually be turned into a gift because those people who have had to overcome adversity are hungry to succeed. They're constantly learning. So I understand this whole upside of something that people perceive as negative. And that's why this title caught my attention. The upside of uncertainty. Let's define uncertainty first, and then we'll talk about some of the tools you have to address it. Uncertainty, let's define it and why. Why study uncertainty?
So uncertainty is when we don't know what's going to happen, where it's unclear, it's ambiguous, it's just unknown. And the reason to study it is very clear to me, because for the past 20, 25 years, I've been interviewing innovators and entrepreneurs of all kinds, some really big names in the entrepreneurial world, some that maybe don't hit the headlines, but have done some amazing things. And here's the thing I observed: to do anything new. So all the possibilities they created, all the businesses they created, all the breakthroughs and the social change, all that good stuff only came after they first faced the uncertainty to do that thing. So we all want the good things, but to get there, we need to go through that uncertainty. And so uncertainty and possibility are really two sides of the same coin. And so that's why we often just get stuck seeing the uncertainty side of the coin. How do we get to the possibility side of that coin?
There's a great quote in your book that I like. You just mentioned uncertainty and possibility are two sides of the same coin. And you write, we are all wired to fear uncertainty, but change and transformation rarely show up without some measure of it. So Susannah, why are we wired to fear uncertainty? I understand being wired to face down threats. We become, in public speaking, which is what I teach, we become very anxious in front of people. I understand the evolutionary reason why we're kind of wired to want to succeed in front of other people in our tribe or our group. Why would we be wired for uncertainty, or at least to fear uncertainty?
Actually, it comes from the same place. Evolutionarily, the unknown might have been, a toxic plant or a poisonous something.
That makes
so
sense,
when we, basically anything unknown was not tried and true yet, was potentially dangerous. And we talk about how that primeval amygdala part, fight or flight part of our brain still is triggered when we face things that really aren't even they're not only not gonna kill us, but we might have a small embarrassment, but it wouldn't be at all life or death, but it feels that way. It is a wiring feeling that is so intense for some more than others.
And I like this word that I don't know if you came up with the word because I had never heard of it. It's called Transcilliance. We want to reach a state of Transcilliance, a transformation beyond resilience, where you leap from the darkness of the unknown to the brilliance of change, growth, and infinite possibility. I think we all want to make that leap to infinite possibility. So we need to have Transcilliance. We have to make that leap. Let's talk about how to do that. One of the major tools that you have is reframing. And reframing is critical to what I do as well, from a different perspective, looking at CEOs and executives from the communications perspective. People will go into a public speaking opportunity and immediately have fear. They look at it as something to fear, an opportunity that maybe they're going to fail at. Instead, they have to change that switch and reframe it into not something to be feared, but an opportunity to embrace and to enjoy. And it looks like you folks are using that same tool, but to address this fear of the unknown. So how would that work? How am I going to reframe anxiety about future events that are uncertain or unknown to me?
So there's so many different ways to do it. And we really encourage people to pick the tools that the reframing techniques that work for them. But to be honest, I've had to do that exact same one that you're coaching people about, because this is not my typical arena. I'm an artist and a creative. I'm a designer. As an entrepreneur, I was really much working kind of on my own, and I love working with people, but standing up in front of people and teaching these things has been a new thing for me.
Yeah.
And it has been the moment when I reframe it as, wait, all I have to be is myself and bring my passion and joy and belief in this topic. And it's really been that right there, I would say, is a transilient moment for me. And transilience is really a light switch effect. It's when you think, shoot, I really hate this feeling. I don't want to do this. I might opt out, to wait a little bit just for a second and think, could you reframe it to where, like you said, that this could be enjoyable? This could be fun. Maybe my way of teaching is going to be different than Nathan's, but it's going to help someone that maybe he can't reach because I'm going to do it in a different way. So that was a reframing thing for me in joining such a business book.
You know, I just got to jump in on that transilience point. It sounds a little bit high promise, but I really want to clarify. So resilience is a topic talked about frequently in my field, but it's very much more this sense of like being able to take a punch and stay standing, being able to have a shock or a crisis and not have it destroy you. And what transilience is really about, it's this phase shift. And we've all had the experience. You've all had the experience where you were overwhelmed and you saw no way out. And then somebody says something to you, something happens to you, and suddenly you're like, see a way out, and you see how no matter what, you're going to make a better choice right now. And that's so empowering and energizing. It really is taking the uncertainty that happens to you and kind of like doing a little judo on it and turning it into energy to find the possibility. And so that's like the spirit of transilience. I don't want it to sound too over promising. It's really this search for that moment where we see, oh, I see how there could be possibility on the other side. That gives me energy to like go through this uncertainty.